Yo, what is going on, Redheads? This is Jason Henry, the Redhead Henry, and today we are going to be doing some commentary over Evil Goku versus Goku Black, which just dropped last week. And if you guys have not seen that video yet, please check out the description below. That's got a link over to the video, and you guys can go and check it out. So today I'm just going to be doing some commentary over the entire animation. Answering some questions that I saw you guys have in the comments of the video. So we're going to get right into it. And I'm going to be referencing a lot of the stuff that came out in that story PDF document that was released in conjunction with this animation. And if you guys want all the juicy details on the animation, it's in the description of this video and in the description of the Evil Goku versus Goku Black animation. So there's a PDF document that just explains virtually everything that is in this entire animation. So this animation was definitely a challenge in the sense that it was just so massive in scale. Not only was I animating this thing, but I also had to create a small little mini game that was released in conjunction with this whole video. I also had to create that big PDF document that we just talked about. So that had I think it was like 13 pages or so in there. And I had to do a lot of research, testing with audio, finding the audio tracks. So, I mean, you guys know how it is. It's just a huge, huge project. And this whole thing took me about 7 to 8 months total working on it. So it was a lot of work. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears invested into this thing. And overall, I think the animation turned out alright. There was definitely a lot of sequences where I could have done better and added more detail and achieved things differently, but I think it turned out pretty good. So this whole sequence right here with Goku Black being in his universe, hopefully you guys... The biggest question like I keep getting is that where did all the tails come from? Why is everyone growing a tail? So hopefully you guys caught this without even reading the story document, is that this isn't the same Goku Black from the anime or the manga. This is a completely new Goku Black from an alternate Universe 7. That's why that opening title there said Universe 7.287, whatever it was. So he's actually a Goku Black from an alternate universe, and in this alternate universe, he is, or the Saiyan transformation, when they go Super Saiyan, they regrow their tail. So I wanted to do something different with this whole fight. I didn't want Goku Black to be the same Goku Black who just powers up to Rose, and that was the last, transformation that he had. I kind of wanted to set the stage for the fact that, hey, he's grown a tail. What's that mean? He's achieving all these other Super Saiyan transformations. So that was the whole kind of story with that, and why he's from an alternate universe. So this whole little sequence here was actually extremely difficult. That opening shot that you guys just saw where the camera was going through the water and all that, that was a big shot because there was just so many layers in that entire sequence. But this little fight here between Evil Goku and Goku, I knew I needed to show that. I needed to get Goku out of the way early on, so that the fight can just focus purely on Evil Goku and Goku Black. And I thought, I started thinking about it too in terms of power scaling, because I knew when I animated this, I wanted to show Evil Goku at those Super Saiyan levels where he has his red hair fighting Rose at his Super Saiyan levels. Because if you think about it, a normal Super Saiyan 1, 2, or 3 wouldn't really be a match for, Super Saiyan Rose just in general. So I wanted to show, like, hey, there's a huge time skip. We're 100 years past the events of Goku versus Evil Goku 4, which was really where the end of GT left off. So now his overall base form is much stronger. Evil Goku's Super Saiyan forms are much stronger. And I really wanted to show that with Goku Black, now who is obtaining these new Super Saiyan Rose transformations, even if he is one level below Evil Goku in terms of Super Saiyan. So if Evil Goku's at Super Saiyan 2 and Goku Black is at just his normal Super Saiyan Rose 1, he's still able to be either on par or just a little bit weaker than Evil Goku would be. Because I really wanted to show it in stages, you know? Like they're at Super Saiyan and then 2 and then 3 and then ultimately leading to 4. So you guys probably caught this. So you'll notice on Goku Black his earring, it's actually 4 little pixels. And what I did was I started animating this whole animation. I said to myself, okay, I'm just going to make his earring separate, a separate layer. So I started out animating that way. His earring was just a separate layer. Eventually, as time went on, after these first little action sequences here, I realized how much of a mistake that was, and then I just replaced those 4 little pixels with just a single green pixel. So there really wasn't time to go in and for every single shot that showed him put in that earring. I was a little ambitious with that, so I just replaced it with the single green pixel, which I think is fine. I don't really think that's that big of a deal.
What?
Oh yeah, so I did get some questions on this too. So usually I always create my own effects, or I try to always create my own effects. I don't really subscribe to the notion of, you know, everyone always using those same effects. Like, yeah, I get it, it can save time and whatnot, but personally for me, I like to create my own effects just to kind of make things unique and have my animations look different than everyone else's. But with this in particular, I wanted to show the difference between the auras, and I know that the Dokkan assets, the guy who runs that Twitter channel, he's awesome. He rips all these, the different sprites and assets and whatnot. So I got that Dokkan assets aura, it looks exactly how it does in the anime. So I replaced the aura that I was using from before with this new Dokkan assets one. And then with the new Super Saiyan Rose aura that I spent about a day on, I wanted to show the difference with those different styles of auras for that. So that's why I didn't use the old energetic fluid aura that I had created from before. So that was the whole reveal with that, with him growing a tail. And again, this Goku Black is kind of a hybrid between the manga and the anime. So yeah, he goes his default Super Saiyan form here, and then he realizes he can combine his God Ki with his, stolen body from Goku. This whole sequence was a fun one to animate. And it's weird too, because as I'm working on these animations, I only see it in chunks, and it's not until when I'm completely done with the animation do I see it, obviously the whole thing done and complete, and then I go back in and start making changes. So as I'm working on all of these shots and whatnot, I'm thinking ahead like, well, how do I want to have this happen and do this and that? And then when I watch the whole thing back, I'm like, holy hell, this looks bad, or this looks great.
Make me get serious. Know your place, Saiyan.
But there was so much happening in this animation I knew from the start, because I knew I wanted to show all these different transformations and different things. But this was just such a large animation that obviously I could have spent more time focusing on fights and whatnot, but that's not really how I animate. I tend to try and animate in the sense that you are watching a Dragon Ball episode. So I know there are a lot of other animators out there that they always focus on, your 2D standard side-to-side, different, effects, different types of combos and combinations and whatnot, and really focusing on the fighting. Like, I used to animate like that years ago, and I just, kind of got tired of it. So it's like, you know what, I'm going to try different camera angles. I'm going to try different perspectives and different things. So some of you like it, some of you don't, but that's just my style. And I've read comments of some of you guys saying stuff like you should collab with this person or that person. And yeah, I think that would be pretty dope, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how that would work because it's kind of like there's too many cooks in the kitchen, so to say, and everyone just has their own different, unique kind of style. So it would definitely be kind of tricky to strike that right balance between who's doing what and all of that. So, but I'd be open to it. But I've got you know a shit ton of projects that I'm still working on. So obviously everyone's got their own stuff that they're doing. So you got to find the right time to do it.
That's me, of course.
So this whole reveal here with Shadow Goku, originally I wasn't going to have him in this, and I got about, I don't know how far I got in this animation with this, and I realized, hey, you know what might be pretty cool is bringing back Shadow Goku, because we haven't really seen him since Goku Versus, which that was a completely different Shadow Goku. I guess the Shadow Goku's kind of like Evil Goku's multiform or Tien's multiform, which I think Goku knows that technique. I don't remember. I know like Krillin and Piccolo, Tien knows it obviously. I don't know if Goku knows it though. I can't recall. And you know, some of the trickiest parts with all this is finding the right music. I mean, that's just a huge project in itself is finding the right music, and then that inspires you to animate a certain scene. So like with this, for example, I'm trying to sync up the music with what is happening visually on screen. You know, and a lot of guys, when they animate, they'll just throw up whatever music, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense. So I'd really try and spend that extra time to sync up what's happening on screen with the music. So that's a perfect example right there where, you know, he hits all these rocks or mountains or what have you, and he lands and hits that big one, and then the music kind of dies down, and there's this moment of like anticipation, what's going to happen next, and he just says Super Saiyan 3, and then the music just explodes up, and then his aura explodes out. So that's just one example there too. This was a lot of fun, that first-person perspective. I actually got some heat from certain guys saying, like, oh, you don't like the first-person perspective, whatever. Like, dude, I'm loving this first-person perspective. I'd only done it a little bit in the past, but I'm digging it. I really like it. Because it's something different, and that's what I like. I don't like doing the same standard thing every animation that I work on, because it gets kind of daunting and repetitive. So if I'm always injecting something new, like whether it's a new type of story or a new kind of, you know, animation style with the first person stuff, I'm definitely on board for that. So this scene right here too, with the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, I knew I wanted to do that too in the first-person perspective because, one, I had never done a transformation from a first-person perspective before. So like here, like he powers up, he's transforming, and then when his eyes open, you can see he's looking down at his body right there. So I mean, you can tell too, like the time that I put into certain shots over others.
Such magnificent power.
Like, I believe in the Majin Buu animation, I spent more time on making sure that their hair was moving, like when the aura would be around them, or if there was a quick little shot of them turning their head. With this, like, I had to work on so many sprites, and there was just so much to do with this one, I just didn't have time.
This transformation is something else.
And actually, this whole sequence right here between Zamasu and Evil Goku, I really wanted to use Zamasu somehow. And I thought, okay, well, he's a Kai, and if you remember from Dragon Ball Z, the Supreme Kai had like this telepathy ability where he could read the minds of the other characters that were there. So I thought, okay, it'd be kind of cool if like Zamasu, who is in the mind of Goku Black, can like use his telepathy somehow to communicate with Evil Goku. So this whole conversation is taking place in their head, or in their heads.
And await my final judgment.
And it took so long to find these voice clips and to sync them up in such a way that would make it seem like they were just having a normal conversation. And as soon as I found the "you will kneel before me," and then Zamasu responds with "kneel" like a question, and he laughs, I was like, oh, this is it. This is perfect. So this is supposed to be, I mean, when you guys watch this animation for the first time, this was supposed to be the ending sequence, or you're supposed to think that it is. It's the full-on, full battle. He's at his strongest, Super Saiyan 4, Evil Goku. Black's at his strongest. He's at Super Saiyan 3. And then once it finally gets to the scene where Goku Black is thrown into the lava, you're supposed to think, okay, that's it. It's over. It's done. And then all of a sudden the reveal of Goku Black Super Saiyan 4, which was ultimately what I wanted to show in this whole animation. This little sequence was fun here too. In fact, one of my favorite sequences was this whole sequence, particularly right when he uses his Kaio-ken, Evil Goku does. That whole sequence was really, really fun to work on. And the way it was syncing up with the music, the anticipation. Yeah, this whole shot right here. The Kaio-ken, and then it's like it skips a beat, and then boom, it appears around him. And actually, that was a recycled shot from the Boo animation. I just reused it and replaced the sprite with Super Saiyan 4 Evil Goku. Saved me a little bit of time with that. Yeah, so the whole point here was Goku Black using his Kaio-ken, but because he's Super Saiyan 3, and Super Saiyan 3 just generates so much energy, he can only sustain that little burst of power for a short amount of time. So once he clashes with Evil Goku, he instantly de-transforms back to his base form. And then this is where Evil Goku knows that he has him. He can just create a quick little spirit bomb, wipe him out. And actually, I read in the comments, somebody said when Goku Black summons his axe, that they said that he was going to slice the spirit bomb, like in two. I thought, holy hell, I should have done that. Why didn't I think of that? That would have been a really good idea. But no, this was just him creating like a little energy axe that he tosses up at it, and then it just causes this massive, massive explosion. Oh, that was another thing too. I didn't want this version of Black to use the scythe. I wanted to show that he could forge other types of weapons. So he has his sword on one hand, and then there's another shot where he can use two swords on both hands. Here he's got the axe, and then also he can create like an energy spear. And then later on in the animation, he can like create, you know, tens of them or hundreds of them like effortlessly. Oh, so a fun little tidbit here too. Originally, what was going to fly off of Black was going to be his ring, or his earring, not his ring on his finger. And as I started animating that whole sequence with the earring, I thought, no, this wouldn't make sense. Why would he want the earring? Nothing can really be done with that. It would be better if it was the ring on his finger, because if Goku Black were to put that ring on his finger, we don't know what would happen. Would he get pulled back to his universe? Like, how would that work? Whereas the earring doesn't really do anything unless you have the other earring, and then you could have the fusion. So there's like just kind of anticipation here, but then that music starts to kind of come in, and you're like, well, what's this music kind of building up to? And again, that music was synced with this whole sequence here. And I think when that music peaks with that big reveal of Super Saiyan 4, Goku Black, I won't lie, it synced up really good. Just trying to create these little awesome little moments. Goku Black is pulling a Broly right now. getting thrown into lava and somehow surviving. So that shot right there with the glowing eyes, that was kind of a throwback to when you first got that reveal of Goku Black in Dragon Ball Super. You know, he's got like that swirling tornado-y cloud around him. And I think it was fire too. It was like a tornado cloud with fire. So that was kind of a callback to that with the lava. And the big reveal of the Super Saiyan 4 Goku Black. So I kind of got inspiration with the Super Saiyan 4 from a couple different pictures. But I think there's a game, I don't remember if it was Legends or Dokkan Battle or whatever it was, but there was some game where it actually, they have Super Saiyan 4 Goku Black as like a card or an icon or something. And he had the pink fur, but he had pink hair. So originally when I designed the sprites for him, he had the pink hair. And then I did one with black hair, like different variants. And ultimately, the black-haired one, it just looked better to me. With the pink hair clashed too much with the pink fur. This sequence here was a fun one to do too, with him just hovering over him. Because that's kind of the difference between Zamasu or Goku Black and Evil Goku. Like, all he does is talk, he speaks, he's so full of himself. Evil Goku's just like kind of more savage, like, hey, enough talking, let's just get to fighting. He just doesn't care.
I honestly don't care, so please spare me the small talk.
Yeah, there's just no way. Even with the 100 years of fighting Goku, there's just no way he could match a Super Saiyan 4 infused with God Ki. And I realized at one point too, like, could a Super Saiyan 4 Goku Black be like the ultimate fighter, the ultimate being? Because if you think about it, Super Saiyan Rose 1 was already on par with Super Saiyan Blue. So if he were to obtain Super Saiyan 4 Rose, like, that would just be ungodly powerful. Oh, and originally Chi-Chi, I wasn't going to show this either, but then I realized it might be fun to kind of introduce her storyline and how that plays into effect with Evil Goku. So I did some quick little flashbacks here. And then you realize that Chi-Chi was killed at some point with the unborn child, Gohan. So Evil Goku lost not only Chi-Chi, but he lost his unborn son. And the details of that backstory will be coming out soon, guys. I know you're waiting to see it. I saw all the comments for it. And I kind of held back trying to do the Kamehamehas till right at the end, because I knew I wanted this to end in a beam collision. And my god, inside of After Effects, just even for a single sequence here, with some of these beam collisions, it was like 25, 30 plus layers. And then I started pre-composing certain shots and whatnot. It just took so much time. And I have a beastly computer too. I have 128 gigs of RAM. I've got a really good graphics card and processor, and my computer was still slugging by the end of this whole animation with this. And I was working in different project files too. So Evil Goku here is just completely outclassed. He could do a Kaio-ken times 10, and it still won't. It will not push back that beam. And then obviously, as I had originally set up with Goku at the beginning, he's going to come in and help Evil Goku. And I had thought about this for a while. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to have Goku Black come to his realm, and I didn't want Evil Goku to be able to defeat him. I wanted Goku Black to get pulled back to his universe at the last moment. But how it kind of happened was kind of up in the air. I knew I wanted a beam collision, but at one point I thought, well, what if Evil Goku and Goku could fuse? Then I thought, no, that wouldn't make sense, because that would imply that at some point during these 100 years of him fighting Goku, Goku taught him the fusion dance, so that wouldn't make any sense. So I thought, okay, well, just to kind of show the character development and growth between these two characters, that they're kind of like frenemies now, that Goku would just step in at the end and they would just both combine both of their beams into this massive positive negative Kamehameha beam that turns bright white. And I guess technically Black here was more surprised because he might have been able to overpower this beam a little. But at this point, this animation had gone on too long. I mean, I could keep going with this energy collision, you know, for another 5, 10, 20 minutes if I wanted to. But, you know, it's just got to end at some point. He's got to get ripped back to his universe. So here we are. He's back there. And obviously, I know I saw you guys reading the comments as we talked about at the beginning of this video, too. Goku, Trunks, Vegeta, once they transform into Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue, they all grow tails, which was part of this whole universe that this Black came from. And again, all this information is in that PDF document, which is in the description of this video down below. And it's in the description of the animation itself.
I hear you're pretty strong. Come on and show me what you've got.
Seriously? You are a fool to challenge a god. The world shall be remade in my vision.
This was a fun sequence to do too, with him being back there.
What the hell are
And
you
then
talking about?
as they all power up to their, you know, strongest forms, you just get a quick glimpse right before the credits roll of him transforming into Super Saiyan 4 Rose. Or Rose 4. And you just see it for just a couple frames right there. And I'm fairly confident that Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku would stand absolutely no chance against that. And I'm sure Goku Black would just demolish them, and the Zero Mortal plan would come into full effect there. I mean, you'd have to bank on the fact that Goku and Vegeta would somehow be able to figure out how to go like Super Saiyan Blue 2 and then 3 and then ultimately 4. So they just stand like zero chance at this point. But this whole animation was really fun, and all of these images that you're seeing here on screen with the credits, these were all done by some fantastic artists, sprite artists, and you know, digital artists and compositors and whatnot. So these guys all did a fantastic job. I always try and promote you guys who do artwork as much as I can in the videos that I do. So I love throwing these up here and trying to get you guys as much exposure as I can. And some of these just turned out so dope. But yeah, this was this animation in total, it was a nightmare to work on, I'm not gonna lie, but it was fun. Some parts of it were fun. Out of all the animations I've done, this was the longest one, I believe, and this was the most painstakingly difficult one to do, just in terms of the amount of things that I had to do in it. I actually really liked this remix of the Full Force Kamehameha. I was trying to see if I could use it at some point earlier in the animation. I thought, no, this one might be a good one to use in the credits here. Some of these are so good. Yeah, and I kind of wanted to subvert expectations, because I'm sure you guys thought, well, if it's Super Saiyan 4 Evil Goku versus Goku Black Rose, then we won't see a Rose, you know, level 2, 3, and 4. So a lot of this artwork here is just of Rose versus Super Saiyan 4 Evil Goku, so trying to subvert those expectations and releasing all the promotional stuff too, like trying to hold back on all of the beefy scenes and the reveal of that he's actually going to all these transformations. That was tough. Not gonna lie, it was very tough. I so badly wanted to drop more hints about it. So now here we are, post-credit scene. Evil Goku, you know, he's just completely damaged, and Goku helps him up and whatnot. So I wanted to show here that their relationship has kind of evolved over the years. They still are fighting with each other, but there's kind of like this mutual respect going on.
I guess we can call it a day.
Hey, thanks a lot.
And having Evil Goku say thank you to Goku was a big thing too here. And then it's revealed that that portal device, it's bringing in either Goku or both of them into a new realm, which is where Goku vs. Z will take place. So we don't know if it's taken one of them or both of them, but we will find out next time on Goku vs. Z. But this was fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed this commentary and found some value in this. I will see you guys next time. Take care.